Welcome back, guys. Today we are going to be going through one Friday Fight Nights 115. Pretty, average one Friday Fight Night card. Actually, maybe even a little bit below, but there's a crazy viral knockout that I'm sure most of you guys saw. And also there's no UFC this weekend, so we're going to talk about this fight card. There were some good fights in here. I would say slightly below like a typical or even like the last Friday Fight Nights, but still really, really good for, free fights on YouTube. Yeah. Pretty good card. So we're going to run through it pretty quickly, and then we'll obviously talk about the crazy spinning back fist elbow knockout that I'm sure you guys all saw on Instagram. Wild stuff. So right off the bat, we had a submission grappling match that was pretty boring, but there was a submission in the first round. We're not going to cover that too much. And usually when we talk about the 1FC fights, I'm like, every fight was like super exciting. Not everyone on this card was super exciting, but I would say 70% of the fights were quite good. Next fight, the women's fight, was kind of just a little back and forth. It was like the one girl, I believe it was the next one that was a robbery. This one was kind of just like back and forth, but for the most part, it was just pretty mid, pretty hard to score. I'm not going to dive into it too much. The next fight, Ubad Hussein versus Petnakane, was a really good fight. The Petnakane guy is obviously like kind of more like Thai style, where he's just, but like not like a technical Thai fighter, more just like walk you down and try to piece you up. And Ubad Hussein looked really good in this fight. He was using a lot of creative kicks, long range kicks. He was throwing axe kicks, but he was mixing it up really, really well, and he was keeping Petnakane guessing a lot, especially in the first round, and kind of piecing him up with the boxing and just being really creative with the striking. Kind of fighting like not a Thai kind of style of Muay Thai fight, but very, very good, very technical, very sharp with the hands, the counters, everything like that. First round pretty much dominated. Second round, Petnakane basically just, instead of it was pretty hard for him to find a way past the long rangey strikes of Ubad Hussein, so he's kind of just wading into the fire and trying to find shots and just pressure mugging the hell out of Ubad Hussein. Second round was pretty close. I think Ubad Hussein still won, but it was close, and Petnakane was definitely doing a good job of getting himself back in the fight and pressuring to make opportunities. It was a close second round. Third round, I think Petnakane won, but again, he's backing up Ubad Hussein the whole time. But again, a lot of these times, like these, I guess, UK strikers or strikers from different countries other than Thailand, they're still landing a lot on the back foot. Obviously, it's not scoring as well as the pressure and landing on the front foot, but Ubad Hussein was landing almost or just as much as Petnakane and cleaner on the back foot, but the pressure opened up some opportunities for Petnakane to land some good shots, and I thought he won the third round. It was a close fight, second, third round. First round, Ubad Hussein just kind of dominated because it took Petnakane a while to, figure out what he was doing. And also, typically the Thais will start a little bit slower into fights. And it was a good fight, but it was second, third round was close. First round was kind of a wash. I think if Petnakane came in and fought the first round, same as the second and third round, I think we might have seen him get a win on the scorecards. This next fight was awful in terms of judging. All of the announcers thought that Mo Carlson won, and then they just gave it to the Thai girl because she's like a Thai superstar or a bigger name. This girl was getting just destroyed at range. She was walking forward the whole time, but she was just eating 4 clean shots to even one kind of whiff shot she would land. I thought the other girl, Mo Carlson, won pretty clearly. For the most part, she was just getting pieced up. So, anyways, it is what it is. But it was pretty funny to watch. You can tell there's in the UFC, when somebody wins a fight or it was a robbery or something, the judges gave them a robbery. The UFC commentators aren't they're not afraid to say it. This, when they announced that the other girl won, they're like, oh, well, that makes sense. She was pressuring a lot, even though they're literally knew that the other girl won, and they were talking about it the whole time. Anyways, it is what it is. Sexan Fairtax versus Avhat Gordon. This was a good fight, actually. Avhat Gordon looked really, really good. I thought that this was going to be a tough fight for him, but dude looked really, really good throughout the whole fight. He was definitely more technical. He was definitely using range better. He's landing the cleaner, bigger shots. Sexton is just super tough, and he comes forward and he just tries to maraud you and just didn't work. He was getting outlanded, he was getting outstruck, and he was getting hit with bigger shots. He had a little bit of success in the later rounds, but for the most part, Avak Gordon looked really good and kind of pieced up Sexton in this fight, landing some really, really clean boxing combos and kicks as well, and catching and countering the kicks. This next fight, I don't actually remember. I probably just watched it an hour ago. Second round knockout. Why do I not remembering? Let's go, again, 1FC. We love it because we can go, oh, wow, bro got slumped. Why did I not remember this? We love it because we can go watch the recaps after, view the highlights. Why am I not remembering this KO? Oh yeah, it was a nasty uppercut KO, uppercut hook. Sorry, my Wi-Fi is kind of dog shit right now, but I'm not playing. But yeah, it was a nice win. It was kind of just like pressuring forward and then hit him with a really nice uppercut, and then I think a left hook and just KO'd him. But I feel like from what I remember in this fight, it was more just like Sam Saliban. I think that's close enough. He was just looking better, like for the majority of the fight. This next fight I watched yesterday, and I don't actually remember, so we're gonna skip that. And I don't think it was. I think it was kind of a back and forth Muay Thai battle from what I do remember. Like there was not like very many like huge big moments, but for the most part, you got the job done. Another decision. I think I missed. Did I miss this one as well? Damn. Let me go look. No, oh yeah, this one was a war. These guys, I just watched this one. These guys just went to war the whole time, back and forth. This was a really good fight. It was a close fight, and it was just these two going to war. So, not much to say about it. I mean, obviously, Mangus and Kim was like probably like landing a little bit better from what I remember, but it was like I remember it being very close. Then we have the two main card fights, or the two, I guess, final fights on the card, which are kind of the ones we want to talk about for the most part. Alexei Balako, he got absolutely flatlined. This was the viral kind of KO. The other one, the main fight of the card too, was also kind of a viral KO, but this was a viral KO. I'm not going to try to pronounce this guy Ging Sang Leg's full name because that's a mission. But he came out there and he looked good. He looked mean. They talked about his, because he's southpaw, they talked about his rear leg kick and how technical, how good he is with it. Man, they were not kidding. This guy looked amazing with that kick. Right in the beginning, he pieced him up. Well, not pieced him up. He blasted him in the head with open stance, like light body kick, head kick. Why did I say body kick? With the open stance head kick, he like faked it, shuffled forward, faked it to the body, and went straight, caught him in the temple, and dropped Alexei. It was nasty. It was kind of like how you see Senchai kind of do this like stutter step and then blast a kick, but it was same thing, but sneaky, but just power kick. And then again, obviously Alexei Balako, I think it's Alexei, but after kind of getting blasted with that kick, he was like, he got dropped, but he wasn't like fully out of it. And there was like another, I believe like 30 seconds, 40 seconds, maybe a minute before he got KO'd. And you could tell that he was still in the fight. He was still looking for shots, and he was wary of that big kick now. And whether Gingseng like actually meant to do this, or I feel like this was something like that he was aware that was going to happen. As once he threw that big kick again, and kind of he almost made it a little bit more obvious than the first one, so that Alexei Balako would lean back and try to like lean back out of the shot, and that's exactly what happened. He threw the kick, kind of a little bit more obvious. Alexei Balako leaned back on the shot, and he stepped right through to just a gnarly spinning back fist, and he actually caught him with the elbow. Just like stepped through as hard as he could after that kick, and right as Alexei was stepping back in to try to counter, because the kick missed because he leaned back, and he got blasted in the chin. It is a crazy knockout. If you guys haven't seen it already, you should go watch it. Definitely one of the nicer knockouts. And I do feel like Gingseng like knew that, like, or had this idea that Alexei Balako would try to lean out of the way of the next one and just blasted him. So that was really good KO. It was very cool to see. It was entertaining KO as well. This next fight gives me hope for people my size. They are 5'3", I'm 5'3", and they're fighting at 135, and they're doing quite well. So both these guys are kind of the same style of fighter, where they're both kind of like obviously exact same size, weight. They're both 5'3". They kind of fight similar, being a shorter fighter, usually having to fight people a lot taller at 130. Lots of overhands, lots of, looking for big shots in close range. I would say that Rambong is probably the more technical fighter, but Syrian Lek just throws bombs, bro. Like this fight, he didn't look super technical. He had the first round was a little bit more technical. The first half of the first round was a little bit more technical, but it kind of turned into end of first round and second round until the KO. Turned into Syrian Lek just walking forward, pressuring the hell out of Rambong, taking whatever shots was coming his way, and just throwing like huge overhands and swinging like. He was putting a lot of power into a lot of shots, but mostly just trying to walk him down and land like one or two really, really big shots, mostly with the hands. Rambong was definitely fighting more technically, countering well. But in the second round, Syrian Lek, the pressure kind of wasn't getting to Rambong, but Syrian Lek was definitely closing like Rambong the distance and starting to land a little bit more shots. And then like obviously the way that the fight ended was Syrian Lek just walking him down and kind of being the one that's moving forward. Ended up getting Rambong in the corner, and just I don't even know if it was well timed, because for the most part Syrian Lek was just throwing these big overhands throughout the fight, but maybe it was well timed. I don't know. You'd have to ask him. But basically, Rambong's in the corner and he can't move, can't back up very much, like straight in the corner, and Syrian Lek just throws a huge overhand right as Rambong kind of posts and throws a knee. And just because he just the way he posted, and just at the exact right time he went to throw that knee, it just came right over the top, and he hit him with the most clean, just full force right hand, just a massive overhand you probably ever seen. Slumps him. He's slumped against the ropes, and then he just blasts him with another one. This was a nasty KO. I think part of the KO was just Syrian Lek just being kind of a marauder, if you want to call it that, just throwing big shots, looking for a KO, and he got it. I mean, he absolutely got it. I think it was a good game plan for him, because I don't think he would have gone technique for technique with Rambong. I think Rambong was a little bit better technique-wise, and I think his chance of winning this fight was, closing the distance and looking for big shots with the hands, and he did that. It was a good fight. So, anyways, that's the ONE FC card. I just wanted to run through it quickly because, there's no UFC fights this week, which is crazy because we just had International Fight Week, and I wanted more fight. You have this build up to a really, really good card, and then we have 2 or 3 awful cards. And we have Derek Lewis versus Teixeira next, which is awful. So yeah, it is. It is what it is. I mean, apparently Conor McGregor might be fighting in the White House lawn. Who the fuck knows? That would be interesting. So, and it would be good for content. Hopefully he comes back so we can make more content on the MMA channel, and we can watch some. How sick would it be? I hope he doesn't fight. I don't mind if he fights Chandler. I just think the Conor McGregor versus Chandler fight is kind of not really hype anymore, because Chandler's just gotten destroyed by 3 people in a row. But I don't know if you guys remember watching the Conor McGregor return against Donald Cerrone. I hate to say pure aura, but the pure aura of that fight was insane. He's got the slick back long hair. He's acting super nice. This billionaire is coming back to fight. Goes out there against Donald Cerrone and looks absolutely insane. He looks so good. Probably one of the best Conors we've seen. Obviously he's fighting Donald Cerrone, but still just looked amazing. Goes out there and gets a 30-second finish. How crazy would something like that be at the White House against a good opponent? Imagine he comes back and sleeps away at Taporia. Not gonna happen. But that would be crazy. And he's also not going to fight at, I guess he could fight at 155. Anyways, that's the wrap up for this card. If you haven't already, like and subscribe to the channel. Helps us out. We are we're on our way to 300 subs. So anything you guys can do to get us closer is greatly appreciated. Deuces, I'm out. See you in the next one.